like to call the meeting of August 20th to order, time being 8:23. My name is President of I'm sorry, 7:23. Members present, Keith Bonias, myself, Paul here, and Robert Sullivan, Assistant Manager. First order of business is this system manager's water and sewer reports.
So the July 2019 water report. We pumped a total of 7,006,900 gallons for an average of 226,000 a day. Sampling for the month came back good. System repairs, we did a new curb to house at 69 North Street, new service tap for 56 West Street, installed a new sample station at the Church Street tank, installed a new curb box extension at 64 Depot. We had the generators serviced, so all the generators, both water and sewer, were serviced. I didn't get the numbers for the meters and final reads. The next meeting. Other work performed, Steve cleaned the roof and started power washing turbine to prepare that for painting the exterior.
So what was the installed curb box extension 64 Depot? What is that?
They filled, it was one of the newer services that we put in. And, when we put it in, they hadn't finished the yard work yet. So after we put it in and they got the house done, they came in and landscaped and brought the landscape up, so we were
Sticking up to
that was down that far too much, so we had to
just bring that up.
Yeah, we tried to pull up on it, couldn't get it to rise, and put an extension on it.
Let's see, okay. Curb to house 69 North. Which one's that?
That's just sold. It was the same owner right next door.
Bellamy's house? No, that's
No.
done. 69 North, 76.
The husband passed away
on the right-hand side?
It's on the left-hand side as well.
On the left, that can't be
Did I have the wrong number? That's the number that he gave me. I forget.
odd numbers on the right,
Yeah.
even on the left.
Someone that just sold it.
So what was done from curb to house? I thought we didn't get involved. Did you pull it? Just pull one?
That's the people that dug the new service up on Colonial.
Yeah.
They did the.
Oh, okay, so then we just did that.
Yes, we just did the pipe and stuff after they did all the excavation.
And
They
then,
excavated the whole thing. They didn't pull it.
56 West Street was kind of controversial. I had heard a few things about that, and I want to address specifically that one tonight. And as far as I guess there was a gentleman that went to complain to Matt.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that was completely wrong, is what he was complaining about. That was never any ill intention or any of that. But
Correct.
what I question is why we shouldn't be doing any of the digging from and I talked to John about it already, and I told him not to, that any point forward on the digging, they're supposed to do that. They're supposed to have their contractor do the excavation. And I mean, John's good enough to help
Right.
us all the time, so we shouldn't be doing work for contractors to
Well, we don't dig on the property, but we've always been doing the curb to main. Unless it's something that's bigger than what we would handle to begin with, like a tap and sleeve, or a 6-inch line going in a main or something like that. But
no, that's not been the case that I'm aware of. It's always been the contractor has to get they go get the open road opening permit, and they dig to do it. We make the tap and do the connection, but
Yeah.
as far as any excavation, I think that has to be on the developer, or whoever the contractor, homeowner, whoever it may be.
yeah,
And we just break that if it's especially a new service. If it was a repair, then we're
Right.
doing something, then that's a leak or whatever, then obviously we do that. But anything new that's going to be tying in should be you know, they gotta
I
come
agree.
down. Just so so people don't.
Yeah,
have
I mean,
the-
I agree with what you're
Yeah.
saying, but I think we need to write a policy so that, because they come in and I'm like, all right, you're gonna have your guy dig it. They're like, oh no, we don't want to do that. We'll dig from the curb in. But that's up to you to tie it into the main and get us the curb stop.
It's up to them to get to
Right. I'm
put
just saying
that in
that.
place, and that's.
I agree with you.
And we went over this on the same thing up on Colonial, when we, like I said, we don't do any digging, getting involved in the,
Yep.
on the new services.
Yeah. So I mean, they did it up there.
Yeah, and I don't think we've ever have gotten involved. New services, we never got involved in. So I think maybe there's
We've
mis-
always done them.
not the ones I've ever seen. I've done some, I never had to,
Yeah.
never had anybody dig it. My wife's side had my guy dig it.
Yeah.
And do it. But, so I mean, for a reference, I think moving forward, I think it should be, I don't know how you feel about that, but.
Yeah, that's fine. I think for new, for repairs, obviously.
Right.
The,
Leaks
the
and
curb and
things,
stuff,
yeah.
we do, and that's always been the case, I think. But for new stuff, it should be up to a contractor to make that arrangement, and then we do the tap and what have you.
I have no problem with that. I agree with it 100%.
So now we got the
But I
policy
just
all right
think-
for September.
I'll say that'll be next month's policy though.
Yeah. That's fine.
Just for. I don't think it's really fair to, It's fair to
Trust me,
John
I agree. We
digging.
we don't have the personnel, the staff, the
Right.
equipment, anything to do it, and then John's got his own stuff going on, and then then there's issues with we're taking too long to do it, and
Yeah.
it's just too much to try to coordinate between the homeowner, John, me.
Right.
We just don't have the staff to do that kind of stuff. So
I mean, the only thing that really needs to be, that we should be doing in that is just physically making the tap
right.
and then run the line to the house, put it
Yep.
in, and then they, inspect them, and then everything's done, they put the material on it,
I agree.
and done.
Yeah, so I'll write some kind of policy up for that next meeting.
Okay. But I think that was, how that was presented was completely way out of line, how that was
Oh yeah,
presented to the administrator on it.
I had talked to the town administrator and explained exactly what happened, so
Yeah.
he understands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in fact, it was quite the opposite.
Exactly.
So,
It was completely opposite.
yeah.
Alright.
Oh, the pipe that's laying out here from the,
Yeah, talked to scrap people the other day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if while they're doing that work down here, the problem is we gotta get it in 4 foot or less lengths.
okay,
And have somebody sit out there with a chop saw for 3 weeks straight trying to cut it into
Yeah.
4 foot lengths was a pain.
yeah,
But we're paying for a mini excavator with a hammer on it right now.
yeah,
So I'm gonna see if they can just come up with that hammer tomorrow and just whack those pieces to break them so
Yeah.
they'll be small enough. So
yeah,
they can probably do it in a half hour with the hammer as opposed to 3 weeks with a cut saw trying to cut
Yeah.
it into 4 foot pieces.
yeah. So you think we'll have that scrap out of there before snow flies?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I don't want that sitting there for all winter.
okay.
Scrap. So who's gonna haul that away?
Usually John does the iron
Okay,
for us.
so we just gotta make it.
I just gotta get it broken so that the scrapyard will accept it. 'Cause they won't accept the link, so.
Okay. Okay, so that was the policy for, which I don't know. It's gonna be the next meeting. So on the tie-ins, on the new tie-in, new connection.
Yep.
Connection. Okay, so it's scrap. Okay, and then how we, staffing update, you're gonna have,
Well, do you wanna,
We're still reading your report.
I wanna finish the reports
sorry.
and then we gotta do the policy.
We didn't finish your, oh, we needed
I
the
only
water.
did the water one, yeah. The,
Sorry about that.
so I got the June report for the sewer. June, we had 3.61 inches of rain. Centerville hauled off 104,400 gallons. The flow was 4,438,336 gallons for an average of 147,945 per day. Wasted 133,385 gallons, an average of 4,447 gallons. We used 710 gallons of alum and 752 gallons of sodium hydroxide. 260 kilowatt hours of electricity, and the river average was 26.95 cubic feet per second. We completed the EPA study 39. The backflow devices were tested. So July, we had 5.07 inches of rain. Centigrade took 104,300 gallons. The flow was 3,892,000 gallons for an average of 125,500. The waste was 124,670 gallons for an average of 4,022 gallons per day. We used 716 gallons of alum, 651 gallons of sodium hydroxide, 279 kilowatt hours of electricity, and the river average was 14.331. So, as of July, we are not meeting the 16 series.
So we're just shy of that.
Yeah, so August we're definitely. We completed the third quarter toxicity testing, got an alum delivery. The annual generator service was performed. That was for all the pump stations, as I said before. So that's all we got there.
And so what's going on down there now?
That's the, remember back a little before Ray left, there was,
That's mine.
yeah, when he did his measurement from 10 feet above and said it was 10.5 inches. Well, that pipe, when we did that repair, well, it broke in another spot, but it's outside the vault.
Yeah.
So it's in between, so now we gotta excavate it, but that's all part of the section that's inside the old treatment plant tank. So we had to bust up the concrete, the vector down to there. We had to vector out down on the outside because all the stuff that was run outside there, so you can't use a backhoe really
Right.
to dig, so. But that took all day today, so we've got it exposed. So they're coming back tomorrow and they gotta bring a core drill through so we can take out the old pipe, pull that section out, put a new section in. But we're gonna sleeve it so that we won't have to dig it next time. So we'll put a 12-inch PVC, schedule 80 or something in between, and then run the pipe inside that so that we can do it next time if we have another issue without a problem. I mean, that was ductile iron pipe that rotted out from the alum that was sitting at the bottom of the pipe.
Who's digging?
Dusty sir. So the price, no matter who you use, a Vector truck.
Oh, you need it back. Sure enough.
Was it Badger Vector truck? Was it Badger? The Vector truck, or was it Gustafson's own Vector truck?
It's Gustafson.
Is it? I just seen a real fancy Vector truck at 146 today, and I'm like, wow, look at that thing.
Oh, it probably is.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a
it was
nice car.
Badger. It was the name of it on it was Badger.
Oh, I don't know. You can go on there and look and see what the name on it is. I think it says Helgerson, or Gustafson.
And then was there something, I remember talking about something about DO sensors or something. Was there something going on?
Yeah, we've got them, we just gotta finish getting them installed.
Okay.
So how long do you think that's gonna take to tomorrow?
With that,
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll be done tomorrow.
A couple of days.
I was actually hoping it was gonna be done today. It turned into a bigger nightmare than we expected, even though we expected it to be a nightmare.
How many guys does he have?
3 plus him. So there's one guy running the Vector, guy for the mini excavator, laborer, and then Bruce was on too. So Bruce wasn't there all day. Can't remember. So that policy we didn't finish for the water theft. We made corrections to it from the last meeting.
Alright, let's see. We have to read through that. So this is the updated changes that you just made, right?
Yes. Do we not have the meeting minutes from the last one?
No, I didn't see it. Not saying they're not there. I don't know.
I know they're-
Okay.
The books are this one on there.
I don't think there's June meeting minutes.
Let's see.
May ones, if we did it June.
Number 5. Which one are you looking at?
Number 5?
Yeah, number 5, on the wording of that says the town reserves the right to pursue criminal. We think to say the town may pursue criminal charges. Instead of reserves the right. I have to see how that would apply. Either reserves the right to or may pursue.
I don't know what the difference would be. Is there a legal difference in the wording?
That's what I'm trying to think of. Is if there's a legal difference in how that's worded. We reserves the right or may pursue criminal charges in the Watertown District Courts. I mean, I think it's, to me, I think it may be the same wording, reserve the right or may. What do you think?
Either way.
Hmm?
Either way.
Either way?
Yeah. I mean, it's anybody's right to sue anybody at any time.
That's,
Anyway, yeah.
right, that's,
So,
so that's why I was wondering if, I mean, that's because like, for that reason alone,
yeah.
anybody has a right to go pursue charges. I think. I was wondering if it was being too wordy in the sentence. I'm just simply saying the town.
Just take that out
May.
and put it in a will.
I think
Reserves the,
I just think may. The town may pursue criminal charges or warranted additional fines and extra costs associated with that. fines. If you want to have some teeth in it, I understand it, but it has to be a.
Well, I mean, it's a blanket policy, just general
Yeah.
theft of the water. So you got Jolly Joe homeowner stealing water, and then you got Jolly Joe contractor stealing water.
Right.
Jolly
Well,
Joe
either way,
contractor may not give two craps about a $200 fine.
Oh, they don't.
Right. So,
Well, what about if we went 500, 1,000, and 15? The first offense is a little. I mean, $500 is still a bite,
Yeah.
but it's a reasonable.
Well, it's 500 plus what we think they.
Right. On what's
Stole,
on top
so-
of what they stole. Because what's going to happen is no matter every single one's going to appeal right to the board. If the fees that it finds that high, if there was anything that we're done this, we'll say,
I
well,
don't care if they come to the board.
well, I know, but
I'd leave the third one too. I mean, at that point, it's just a blatant disregard for
so go 5, 1, and
500,
2.
1 and 2.
Right.
Because at that point, it's just a complete disregard for.
Right, true enough. Not to I mean, I think the intent, like the first offense, the intent is to, we don't want to bankrupt
Let them know
somebody,
what's wrong,
but,
yeah.
you know. Okay, I'm good with the rest of that.
Yeah, I get another spot.
Hmm? See?
Now you got me looking at it. You shouldn't have started this. So on 6,
Oh, yeah, I see.
can we do the Water and Sewer Commission upon completing an investigation of water theft may determine to withdraw water service to an offending contractor?
So, just add completing.
Completing an investigation of water theft.
Investigation.
And I promise I won't look at anything else.
Do you need to have water theft in there? Because that's not the, oh no, because we're talking sewer too, water, right?
Well, the only problem I have with changing that wording is right now, the way it's worded is the Water and Sewer Commission upon investigation may determine. It doesn't mean you guys have to do the investigation, because you're most likely not going to be doing the investigation. It'll be me going out and investigating,
And then reporting to
and then
us.
you guys will, after the investigation is done, you guys will make the determination as to, you know, a repeated offender or.
So it would be, would the wording be, we get suited with, upon the Water Sewer Commission, upon reviewing the investigation? Obviously, you're gonna probably do it.
Right, I would say that. I just wouldn't want it to make it seem like it's you guys that have to do the investigation. 'cause-
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
either
I
way,
don't
it
do
sort of
that.
looks like we're doing the investigation. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with us going out there and, you know,
Yeah, I mean, we
doing
could
something
go.
like that.
Yeah, we could.
You see something, then, you know, haul one of us out there. We can leave it general if you want.
I just don't want to tie you guys in saying that now you're going to be doing this, and all of a sudden we got 50 of them that we're investigating. You guys want to be tied down doing them.
If we got 50 of them, there's a lot of building going on. That'd be good, right?
Assessment Commission, complete investigation. What is?
How about upon reviewing an investigation of water theft?
That's what he said.
Yeah, I think I'd be better off with that.
Upon reviewing the investigation,
Or an investigation, either one. Alright, that's it. I
Yeah.
won't read any more, I
alright,
promise.
so we're gonna delete the duplication of the
Word policy.
title policy.
Yep,
Change the first offense from 1,000 to 500, change the second offense from 15 to 1,000, leave the third offense. Change reserves the right to may in number 5. And then add the words upon reviewing an investigation of water theft may determine in 6.
Yep.
yep.
Okay. So I'll make those corrections. Do you want to make it with those said corrections?
Vote on it like this.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
amendments.
So I make a motion to accept the water theft policy with the corrections that we've noted.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we'll work on the connection policy next time.
Yeah, new connections. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have staffing update.
I got the ad posted for all 3 positions. I'm just waiting to see any applicants. I don't think.
It's is it posted internally?
Internally.
Okay. And then, is it in the
Not
newspaper?
yet. You have to wait for the 2-week period to be done.
Okay. My thought process on this, I don't know what you guys think on this is, I think the immediate need, I think, is a laborer's position in both supporting on the water side and helping Peter and helping Steve. It'd be ideal if we could find somebody that has a license in either one of those, and, as far as a assistant, but I think it may be a little tricky getting that, this, given the climate we're in with the things are going so well. So if we were to hire a laborer's position with the understanding that, see which way they would fit, whether they fit better in the water side or the sewer side, and then get them going. Plus, also they can be doing general laborers as well, just, taking care of a lot of the maintenance stuff that's gonna get done, taking care of, the actual staff, I understand that, and he really needs to get on that. So I'm thinking that, I think the immediate need would be, I think it would put the fire out in 3 different avenues. I think getting some of the cleaning up stuff done, because it's gonna be getting into fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then also he can still help Peter, do things he needs, and also help Steve and you as well, if you want him to go out and do different things. And then if you think he has the ability to, if you see a niche that he maybe say, I think he'll be good on the water side, or he'll be good on the sewer side, kind of push him
Yeah.
to what direction that you might want to go. I don't know if I think that may be an easier hire initially.
Well, I think a laborer is an easier hire initially anyway. And if they've got some sort of, like you said, a mechanical aptitude and is leaning either way,
Mm-hmm.
there's obviously from a laborer position, there's plenty of room to grow. So, and I think that's an easier position to fill starting out, without having to worry about licenses and what
Yeah.
have you.
I agree. And even that may not be as easy as we think, because you get somebody.
But if you post it that way, I can tell you the state's not going to buy it whenever they come in and say you're understaffed. How come you're not hiring? if you don't show that you're trying to hire licensed operators.
Well, that's,
Well, we can
and
still
and
keep
nobody's
the-
saying that we
yeah.
don't, you know, you still run the ads in the trade magazines and the newspapers and stuff, for what we need. But I'm just saying for the initial
Initial.
first hire, you know, you should probably, you know, look at a laborer. You know, and then that'll, you know, that'll free up everybody else's time with a couple of these oddball things that, you know, grass mowing and plowing and, you know, all that other, you know, oddball stuff, you know.
It doesn't help with on-call or any of that, though, I can
No,
tell you that much.
no, it doesn't, but it's a start in relieving these other pressures of, you know,
Yeah, we're not saying not to- not to
running
keep
down
the
a
ads.
Fisher for auto parts, or running down a Koopmans for paper towels or something. I mean, you can, you know, that's something that somebody else can do. And then, you know, Steve and yourself and Peter can concentrate on, you know,
Things that
other
they-
issues.
Right, should be doing. Not worrying about that little stuff.
You know.
But I still keep the, you know, keep the ads going for the assistants as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, because it.
Like I said, I get all 3 ads out, so.
Yeah. Okay. So that runs for 2
fill
weeks.
Whichever we can fill. I mean, if you can get a licensed operator, then we take that. But obviously, if we can't get it, we'll have to take what we can get.
So that runs for 2 weeks, and then we can go public after that.
Yep.
So, and then what are you thinking for that? Just like trade papers?
Yeah, we would put it in all the. Anyone with licenses follows all those.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, see what we get for feedback.
you know, you guys usually push to try to go and whatever the municipal thing is. I don't know, I haven't done it, but I know you guys push for that before.
Yeah, there's a
Mass
MMA,
municipal.
yeah, Commonwealth of Mass has a thing.
yeah, I've looked at that.
I was on it once. It's convoluted to get
So
to
I
it.
don't know to tell you.
Yeah,
To tell you the
it's-
truth, that I work in it and I've never
Yeah.
gone there looking for one.
Yeah, but it's, yeah, I was in there a little while ago, and it takes some brain power to try to navigate it.
I think that's more for management style.
Yeah.
Is there, well, what's your thought on where that should be advertised?
Where?
Yeah.
Mass Water Works, wastewater, water has one. Those are all things that all the operators get, they're all members of, and they all see the ads. That's your best bet for licensed operators anyway. And then most of the people that if they're in the industry, they're looking at those all the time anyway, they come out, and the flyers and stuff that they send out, doesn't cost us anything, and if people see them and they say, oh, they're looking and they're willing to take someone without a license, everybody in the industry all knows that it's hard finding an operator, so they're all, hey, here's an opportunity to get in the field. You know, unfortunately hiring without licenses, and we get them licenses, that typically leads to, all right, now I get my license, oh, I can go here and make more money. So we're kind of a training ground for all the other towns, but
Well, it's a double-edged sword. We're not gonna pull anybody in from around
It is,
town.
yeah. Well, unless they're just unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, you find a town and you're willing to take a pay cut because you don't want to deal with the crappy attitude of another town. Or it's closer. I had someone tell me that someone they know that's working in Framingham, and they live in Oxford or Northwich. So you figure a 45-minute commute. And you know, Framingham's a big town. You're stuck doing one thing all the time. You know, that monotonous crap wears on you after a while. When you come here and it's diverse, you're always doing something different. So
Yeah.
it's a short commute. Might be worth taking a pay cut to offset. He said he wants to stay in a union position. Guess you don't understand that.
Yeah.
Paying union dues, thinking you're job security. Do your job, and that's security. You know.
I mean, I think we're still covered on all our licenses as far as the requirements. We're covered with that, so I don't think that's immediate threat. They did say that. I don't think there was any formal complaint from the DEP on that, right?
No,
There was nothing.
they want me to do that staffing thing that they require, and I haven't gone through that yet, so.
We have all licenses, I mean, you have the license in both,
I have licenses in both, yeah.
so and then
The
Adam
three of
has-
us all have them.
Right, and then Adam has a license as well.
Adam has one, he doesn't have
So,
sewer.
so I think they're covered on the licenses.
So then we should be able to advertise in the trade papers by like the second week of September then. Right? We can try to get something.
Before
out.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
So is that's in the, where's that posted? Town Hall? Anything else on staffing? Cook Street private sewer line. What's the, where are we on that?
I don't know, Lisa, do you guys want that on the agenda?
Yeah, so we talked about that at the June meeting.
Yeah. Just thought you were gonna talk to the
I was gonna talk
homeowner, so
everything on the settlement is done.
everyone's done.
Did we ever scope the line and know where that comes in?
No.
So should we do that before I talk to him?
I don't even know how to.
Well,
Main Street, I can
Yeah.
run the camera down Main Street,
Yeah.
but it's a matter of trying to find
Where it's coming into the
time and to do it when, you know, we're stopping traffic on Main Street.
Yeah, obviously, I could probably do that with those day or
9 o'clock after everybody leaves town.
yeah. But yeah, after 9 and before lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, where it comes in, we probably won't want to do that until September something, because we're in the middle of meter reading and everything right now, building, so. Being as short-staffed as we are between that project down there and meter reading and trying to get the billing done and finalized.
So I know, that's, I mean, we really need to get.
We don't have any extra staff time right now,
I agree. So, was there a time, what was the timeline? Do you remember?
so I have to check, but
I know he didn't he request a,
he did, but then he just went with the building permit, so
so he's,
he's all set.
so we should probably get that done sooner rather than later.
Yep.
All right, I will make an attempt to try to talk to him this week, and then if it's I'll get back to him, let him know what his thoughts were, and he may tell me to pound sand.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'll have to see what avenue to take.
Tell him that he's gonna have to look at putting in a septic system.
Right?
It's your only other option, because your sewer,
Discharging with someone else's property.
you discharge it to someone else's, you can either go work something out with them,
Right.
or,
Yeah. And he could technically, the guy could just cut the line off and say, no, I'm not putting it.
and then he's illegally discharging sewer.
I mean, there's no, unless I'm missing something, but there's no cost to the homeowner, right?
No.
Where
No, we agreed to
We
pay
agreed
for
to
it.
do this.
Right, that's what I'm gonna try to explain to
You know,
him.
he's gonna take on the electric and the maintenance of it,
yeah.
once we put it in, but, so he's gonna own it, but we'll
Paying for it.
we'll do the upfront.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
The upfront work.
But I think, I thought Bob said he had tried approaching me before about it, Josie. And I guess the guy didn't wanna even, talk to him about it.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think Bob's the right person to have involved in that at all, being a neighbor.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
Because my neighbor stepped foot on my property, tell me something. I don't care what you charge. So,
say, I don't know what to say, it's in the past history or anything.
exactly, that's. I just heard about it cutting underneath his garage and everything else,
Yeah.
so I just assumed that's
It's probably,
best to separate that.
all right. I'll stop and talk to him, just get a general feel of what his thought is. He may feel, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do that this week. Estimate for work on buildings. Oh yeah, we had discussed that a while ago. That was on.
Yeah, I got the
you
estimate.
You had something.
I've got an
Yeah.
estimate for the work on the primary water station. You had said you were gonna get me a couple other names or something to get quotes for.
I said I'd get you a couple names. Let's see, who else is listed on that? Is Buzz? Buzz is on that thing, right?
Baloo?
Buzz? Howard Blue?
Is it Buzz Baloo? Buzz?
What's Howard Blue? Which is Buzz.
Okay.
He does stuff with
Yeah,
things.
he's
He's
nice
probably,
guy.
I'll reach out to him and,
And so he originally did the roof up here, right?
yeah, him and Mike. Him and Mike were together. Who else? Do we need three estimates, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then are we gonna do anything with painting this thing, or?
Oh yeah, you guys want to add this? He didn't give me a price on
That's,
that.
yeah, I wanted to add the top section of this side and then
Yeah.
getting that done.
I'd probably do that as a separate thing. Just-
Yeah, separate bid, so we have separated out each one. Alright.
And did we ever get quotes on heating and air conditioning in this building, or?
Oh, yeah.
are we gonna-
I called the guy back in July. He was going on vacation, but he said he'd be in. And I called the other guy. Same thing. I haven't had either of them in here yet. But
Okay.
it was in July early July that I talked to him. Actually, it might even been end of June. But I'll follow up with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I can give Peak a call too. Peak Heating and Air
Oh
Conditioning.
yeah, I got Josie gave me their names.
Yeah.
So I can call them.
Yeah, and he can come down, take a look. And then, who else? I can
Oh,
get,
yeah.
I got my
I got the
phone.
one that we always use.
Who was that? Who was that?
EDS. I forget the name of the other guy. Got it. It's not the HVAC company.
Okay.
I drive by his trucks every day, so.
Yeah, I think those, I like the idea of those mini splits.
Mitsubishi splits.
And then I have to Mitsubishi, but I think it'd be,
Yeah,
or whatever the comparable.
Well, the other thing too is, I mean, we've already pouring so much money into electricity, and those things are pretty efficient.
Yeah,
Be one less oil barrel we gotta fill.
so free up some, get that
I agree,
space
get
out
rid
of
of
there.
Yeah, free up that. We can put. I mean,
Put some boxes.
as you see, file storage is
Yeah.
limited, so.
Free up that, plus you're not dealing with worrying about all the beds and all that other
Yeah.
jazz,
Ductwork.
cleaning and.
Yep. And we've already got.
I'm getting a price on a system right now for a job I'm bidding on, and it has three mini splits. One it's a 17 by 50 office space,
Yeah.
and there's like a 12 by 12 office within that 17 by 50 area, and the guy's giving me a price with two, kind of put one on one side offset, so it's not trying to make them more balanced,
Yeah.
and then one in the small office.
We have 4 of them here.
Oh, over here.
I stayed in a hotel for work. I had to travel in June,
They work good.
and the hotel that I was at had a mini split in it. Fantastic. Had a
Yeah.
remote.
Yeah, they have remote.
Yeah, it was nice.
They do heat as well
Heat
as
and AC,
yeah.
yeah.
AC.
Yeah.
And
And
they
we
do-
saw up
they
north
do
how
pumps.
popular they are. A little surprised at that.
Yeah,
You know, they're very popular up north all of a sudden.
yeah,
Things are hanging off everybody's house.
yeah.
So,
I mean, I think we'd get the, and as far as the garage goes, I don't know what,
Just leave the
Yeah, that,
leave the oil.
furnace that's in there for now.
yeah.
Maybe eventually switch over to propane on that. Put one of those gas-fired,
Mm.
you know, the Modine gas propane-fired ones. Get rid of the oil.
Yeah, we'd be
Down the
nice to
line.
do it.
Let's concentrate on this
Yeah.
first, but,
Yeah, because this thing's,
yeah,
sometimes you can hang meat in here and other times forget it.
yeah. Okay. Is that all we have for work on the buildings?
Yep.
Anything else? Okay. Update on meter reading. When is when are the bills supposed to be out?
September 4th. I think we're at 93% red right now.
Okay.
So tomorrow we'll probably try to hammer out most of the rest and pick up all the hand reading stuff that we gotta do.
Okay.
I had a guy from Census come up first week of August. So he came up from Virginia. We went through everything in the gun, got all that stuff squared away. So the admin wasn't here, so we weren't able to get all the issues that she had in between as well. So once we finish reading, we're gonna try probably the end of this week to download all the reads in to see if we have any issues, you know, while I'm here, because I'll be out next week.
So that was that was the gun that we couldn't use?
Yes,
So that's working?
supposedly.
Okay, good. Hopefully.
Yeah.
The gun works whether it talks to the programs.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
That's,
fair enough.
yeah, that's why I wanted to try to do it while I'm here, just so I can yell at whoever I have to yell at, try to get that squared away, whether we make him come back up from Virginia or what.
Yeah.
But,
So you're gonna be out when? Next week?
next week, yeah.
Labor Day week? No, week before Labor Day, right?
Yeah, I gotta go to South Carolina to pick up my kid. So, graduating Marine camp, boot camp.
Nice. Congratulations. Good for
He
him.
survived the crucible. So.
It's the worst time of the year too.
Worst
I
time
know.
of the year.
That's what I said. Man, you picked a dumb time to try this.
Yeah.
He's got to do 48 miles in 54 hours, plus all the crap they put you through
Yeah.
doing it. So
Bob's grandson's down there now, Jack.
Yeah.
He went down.
yeah, we went in July.
Yeah. It's gonna be
It was like
hot as
I
hell.
was a little over a month behind my son.
Yeah.
Yeah, miserable time. So I talked to him Sunday for the first time in 3 months.
Doing all right?
Yeah.
Doing good? Good.
Yep. So as of Saturday, he was officially a Marine. That's after you. Once you cross the line of the crucible, I guess you're officially a Marine instead of a recruit.
Good.
Awesome.
Need more kids like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess a lot don't make it. I think they started off, I think in his platoon it started off at like 160 or something, down to like 60. So
Wow.
a lot of them don't make it through.
Okay. All right. Anything else on meter reading? So we should be fine on all the meeting all the time on that.
Yeah, as long as the transfer between the two works.
Yeah. Okay.
So I know Lee was on the phone with some Munis today, trying to make sure whatever we did to get everything set up was still going to work right, because it didn't go in the order that she normally tries. So she was concerned that it wouldn't be able to work if she didn't do her steps first. But so when I had Census here, I had Munis on the phone, so it was the three of us going through all of it.
Yeah.
So it should work.
Okay.
And I think they put her mind at ease today with whatever phone call she had going on with this. So
Good.
we'll see by the end of the week.
Any goals and objectives updated or anything?
Nope.
Open session for topics not reasonably anticipated 40 hours in advance of the meeting.
I'll just say what's going on down back, but we already discussed that, so.
Yeah.
And they're gonna finish that up.
Hopefully one.
When the power went out, did we have to?
Like, everything went down.
Did it?
Everything here tripped out, we had to reset everything.
Yeah. Did you guys have to run the generators?
I had so many phone calls coming in that I couldn't acknowledge them enough, and then Peter got called in, and Steve got called, but Steve checks his stuff all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So he was watching as it was going on. I was at primary, and Peter showed up at primary. So we'll go down there, because that's going off too. So,
Yeah.
so we came down here, reset everything, got everything, tried to reset everything there, but power was out. Generators were running over there, but it still trips things out. When the generator comes on, it trips the phase monitor, so then you still got to come in, so the automatic transfer is kind of useless. So we're trying to work out bugs in that to make it work right. So we came in, reset everything, got everything running. It was running off the generator, and of course when it switched back to normal power, it tripped out again. So come back in, reset everything again. So there was no communication between the tanks and the pump stations because the power was out on Franklin Street, the power was out on West Street. So we were running on the generators. It was kind of running blind because I didn't know what the tank levels were. So we just based it on when it went out, what level it was at.
Yeah.
And that trip booster to come on, which is going to drop Franklin faster
Yeah.
and start going Church Street.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was almost 9 o'clock last night before it was finally back up and running right.
Well, I had one other thing I wanted to think of was, I'm sorry, we all done with that?
Yeah, I'm not.
What was what happened with this whole driveway on Glen Street? How did this whole thing just get blown apart? I mean, that was a substantial.
I thought you were tired.
Huh?
I thought you were tired.
Oh, me? I am. I gotta go to Home Depot too. But I mean, that's maybe a discussion for another night. Well, I mean, it's something. I'm kind of. To me, the hardest part of making a deal is getting two people that want to make the deal, and that was the case. We had two people who wanted to make a deal, and it just never got executed. So I'm wondering what went wrong, or how did that?
Well, I don't know what happened in between, but the last conversation I had was with the people that were doing the excavation, sand and gravel over there, when we were doing a project up on Depot Street. And he said, yeah, we're not really interested in doing that at this point. He says,
I mean, I think that because of time, they're so far into it on their end.
so
I just think it was just. I mean, I think it was a loss. It was a missed opportunity, and then.
yeah, there's no chance to do it now.
No, I know. That's the part that's frustrating. Is it was, it was an opportunity that was missed, and
Yeah, I mean, the original deal that we had worked out would have been perfect, but
right.
apparently there's hiccups with that you have to follow. All these other hoops that we gotta jump through to make that happen. And trying to get through the hoops, through wrenches and everything.
I mean, it's a simple deal. I don't know what the. That's the part that baffles me. Is how do they expect to do a basic deals, a basic one-on-one deal with two people? Everybody agreed, and it just couldn't get executed.
Yeah.
And that's.
Yeah,
It shouldn't happen. Honestly, that shouldn't happen.
I just know it's dead, and I don't see it ever coming to fruition. I think our only opportunity at this point is to basically do what we'd said before, where you cut the hill out, but then you gotta lower the water lines, you gotta lower the electric lines,
Yeah, let's stay the way
and
it is.
that turns into a $500,000 project.
Well, we'll be voting for that.
No. Oh yeah, one other thing since you brought that up. On that project, they went they put a 2-inch service going into that house. A 2-inch curb stop. I have concerns about running a 2-inch service to a single family house.
I would agree.
Huh?
I would agree.
So, so maybe we'll get 2 policies at the next meeting. Because on a service like that, I think that we should require a meter pit.
If they're running a 2-inch line, there should be a meter pit,
Meter pit right at
and
the
then a
curb.
2-inch line come on.
Right. So a meter pit with a backflow device, do a containment device. Because when you're running a 2-inch line in, I mean, that's typically where people are going to start teeing off,
Right.
going to different areas, if they're having horses or whatever they plan on doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that that should be part of the policy. Anything over a 1-inch service line has to have a meter pit with containment backflow device.
And you wouldn't be running a 2-inch service line into a single.
That's what I mean. You're not
house.
going to go into a house with a 2-inch line through the meter and then split it off after.
Right.
So that's why I get concerned with a setup like that. So
I don't even know. I don't know if we need a policy on that. I think that's just best manual practice. I mean, you're the manager. So
Right.
look at, we run a 1-inch line. If you're gonna put a 2-inch, you can do it. But you got to put a meter pit in. Just tell them what they have to do.
Yeah. Because I kept saying you don't need
Yeah.
a 2-inch line for
Yeah.
but they
But
insisted on a
yeah,
2-inch
but
service.
and that's the thing is, if you've got somebody that's insisting on that, at least this way you've got
Right.
something
If I
that you
have it
can-
in writing, I can say, yeah, this
you
is
can
our
refer to
policy.
it. It's the same thing that if there's a a project going in and you
Yeah, I
prefer
know.
to use dresser fire hydrants, and some guy wants to come in and
Yeah, and that's in our
Some-
specs.
yeah, right. But it's the same. I think it's the same sort of thing. That it's almost like a spec.
Right.
That,
I mean, I think the discretion is the way. If I went to a town and I talked to the systems manager and he told me if I was looking to do something like that, and the manager said no, we don't allow that. There's no purpose. We don't run 2-inch lines to a single family.
Right.
We run 1-inch line.
Yeah.
If you want a 2-inch, this is what you need to do. I don't know if there's a policy. I mean, when somebody going to challenge and say, "Let me see the policy on this."
yeah, they would.
There isn't a policy. I'm just telling you that this is what has to be done.
Yeah, but then if there's no policy, then you can say that's what wants to do.
Yeah, but where does it end though? What if what if somebody comes in and says, "I want to run a 6-inch line"?
Do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's over a 1-inch line.
Yeah.
I mean, so you just want to do a simple policy that says anything over a 1-inch line requires a meter pit for a new service.
Yeah.
And then that blankets
I agree.
anything.
Yeah.
All right.
And I would say that we also need, if we write that as a policy, that we need to add anything over a 3-inch, and I know we'll just say we refer to state regulation, but anything over a 3-inch has to have an annual meter calibration. So we need to add it in there that they're responsible to pay for that. The state doesn't tell us that they have to pay for it, but we're not going to go putting in 3-inch meters for a house, and then we're on the hook to. So I would add in there that anything over that has to be, tested, because the other problem with going so big on a meter going into a single family house is the larger the meter, they don't pick up those low flows so well. So you either go with a compound meter, which has a low flow meter and then a high flow meter. So it picks up the high flows, it goes through one way. If it's a low flow,
Yeah.
it goes through the other way.
Yeah, I just simply said we don't run 2-inch lines into a single family.
Yeah, well, that's what I said, but they insisted, so.
And then you're left shrugging your shoulders.
Right.
So come to the commissioners meeting because they're not going to allow that.
Yeah, so. So, like I said, I would just have a policy in place. This is standard what we put in for a single family house. But then if I tell them they can't put a 2-inch and their engineer shows me that, their single family house is designed with a waterfall in their bathroom,
Yeah.
I have no idea, if their engineer says, oh no, this requires this, and we say, no, we're only giving you a 1-inch,
Mm-hmm.
and then, well, here's a PE saying that this is what's required, and, how am I gonna argue with what their engineer's requiring?
A waterfall in my bathroom too. When the
Yeah.
top of the sink blows off.
Yeah, I think it's just a level of common sense that goes with the whole
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah,
Yeah, but that
there's a
goes
lot,
out the
and-
window
lot of
nowadays,
lack
and
of
everybody
common sense,
just,
yeah.
they're quick to litigate stuff, and
Yeah.
if we don't have anything to fall back on, I think we should have
All right.
something that says anything over a 1 inch, you could have a pit.
Yeah, I mean, I just
And
think
a
it
backflow preventer.
just makes things more simple for us if we put in a meter pit. You know,
I agree
it's
with
not-
them, yeah. I would just simply tell them.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell
you
them
can-
that anyway, but I just figured if we get a policy written, it simplifies the argument.
And if there's multiple services off of it, you know, like
Oh, I agree, yeah.
back up on mine. I
It's a
got
main,
some
that,
up on
yeah, yours
Carmel,
is a
yeah.
main though.
Right,
That's different,
There's
because you have a
lines off.
private road
right.
that's going up with three
But if it's
lots. that's
to a
three.
single family, absolutely,
Exactly.
there's no need for it, it's absolutely.
But I mean, like we put a meter in for the house,
Yeah.
so you've got what, one more lot or two? I don't know what you have,
Yeah,
there, but
one more.
that's different than having a single lot with a single
Yeah.
family going in there.
Yeah.
It's not multiple families. It's not multiple houses going on there.
Yeah.
So,
All right, if they think that'll,
because that was one of my questions, because that was
Yeah.
originally two lots. Like GBI had that split into two lots.
yeah, I think that plan was, yeah.
Right, it was two lots, and that's what I said. Well, are you planning on tying the second house in off of, the second lot in off of this? And they said, oh no, we're going to go get that reversed, so it's only going to be a single lot again.
Okay.
So,
Which is-
well,
it's
then there's
okay.
no need for a 2-inch, but they insisted on having a 2-inch because they want to run water out to the barns and everything else. So
Yeah, which is fine, we'll give them a 2 inch, but we
Right.
just gotta put the meter pit in
yeah,
at the road.
all right. Yeah, I just want to run that by you.
Yeah.
That just came up, and I was like, all right.
I agree with that.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
That's all I did.
I'm good.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I make the motion that we adjourn the meeting at 8:25.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.